The greatest image I would give for anybody considering priesthood is a surfer, because a surfer is riding the wave. It's not his wave. You're not generating any of the power. It's all God. You're just riding it. When COVID hit and we were all locked in, we didn't even have masses at the time. We weren't allowed to. And so I was reading the LA Times and I was realizing that a lot of the services to our most vulnerable, the homeless, were being denied. And it's kind of sad, but actually a lot of the homeless get their food from trash cans. And because restaurants were no longer in business, there was no food. So that kind of sprang me into action and says we can do something. And I tend to be more of an activist. That's my personality. I wasn't going to sit around and read books and, go on retreat, COVID. I'm like, we got to do something. So we started out 1 day a week. We got volunteers. We made sandwiches and we delivered them. And then it started to 2 days a week, then 3 days a week. And in short order, we were going 7 days a week, 600 cold sandwiches a day, along with water and some fruit or chips and stuff. After a year of doing just sandwiches, we started doing a food truck. For the last 3 years, we've been having the food truck go downtown, Skid Row area, MacArthur Park, other areas, and then the sandwiches primarily go to the beach communities. The Christ that we unite with in Holy Communion is the same Christ we unite with in the poor. One of my heroes, Bishop Robert Barron, is always teaching that, is that as we receive Jesus in Holy Communion, his real presence, that should drive us to Jesus in the poor. I think we believers should be the leaders in charity. Why would we expect a politician that may not be a believer, that doesn't have a lot of grace, why would we expect them to have a high bar, right, of charity? Not going to happen. We've seen that. We in the church should be the leaders in charity. We should be the leaders in alleviating suffering in the homeless. As a priest, I'm celibate. I don't have a family of biological children, but it's really teaching me about true fatherhood, is that we're all called to sacrifice for our children. And so I see the homeless, in one sense, are my children. I see my parishioners. I see the students in the school. So it really allows me to see how deep the demands are of being a true father. It's difficult. You got to stretch for all your kids, and sometimes there's nothing left for you, but that's why we reach up to God. So yeah, that's been a great insight, is how demanding a good father is there for all his kids. He doesn't favor one or the other. He's there for all the kids, and through the ups and through the downs. So I'm getting an insight on that through all of this great work. We're acting in the person of Christ. So Vatican II clearly teaches that when a man baptizes a baby, it's not the priest, it's Christ. So in all the sacraments, Christ, the high priest, is exercising his priesthood. He just needs a body. My favorite part of the priesthood, I would have to say, is presiding at Mass, because you're a leader. You're a leader of worship, which is amazing. You get to preach the word of God. I think it's a great honor. You get the ability to really inspire and guide and lead people. So that's an incredible honor. So presiding at Mass, preaching, of course, confecting the Eucharist, and very close to it is hearing confession. I love hearing confession. So anybody listening to this, if you want to go to confession, look up Good Shepherd, look at our 9 times, come on down. I love hearing confession. Right there with presiding at Mass, it's so joyful, because again, I'm acting in the person of Christ the head. I love being an instrument. That's all I am. That's all any good priest is. They're merely an instrument. Again, Mother Teresa, my hero, she said, I'm just a pencil in God's hand. That's all we are. We're just instruments. But I love being that instrument. I'm so honored to be the pastor here for the last 9 years. It's very humbling, and these people have responded in such a marvelous way. And I think good people, believers, they will respond when asked. I think sometimes we need to, ask them to stretch a little. So sometimes, obviously, in a diplomatic, charitable way, we want to challenge our brothers and sisters that are believers to say, hey, let's give till it hurts, because that's when we know it's really good.